I know the election is what everybody is talking about, but we need to start having the real conversation, because I've noticed that we talk a lot about our ancestors and being our ancestors, but y'all, one thing we're not factoring in is if we're our ancestors, they're their ancestors too. And that's why we keep fighting the same fucking battle with these people, because we're fighting who they are at their core. Now, I'm not one to speak on epigenetics because I don't have the qualifications to really get into it like that, but I truly believe it's a factor here, because I think that that's why fear mongering and having to vilify and villainize other people is such a huge tenet of the Republican platform. It's because they know that all they have to do is trigger some fear, and it's going to trigger a switch in a white person's brain that takes them back to their primitive nature. And the thing is, self-preservation is an inherently human thing, but when you use it in a sense that it hurts other people, then you're crossing a line. And that's where white people get it fucked up. They feel like to preserve themselves, they can hurt everybody else. And we see it every election cycle. You can't tell me that these people are telling the truth, that they're really in our comments saying, thank you for teaching, I'm learning, I'm listening, and all this shit. But then we look at the polls and those numbers don't reflect what you're saying to us. So somebody's lying. You're not doing what you say you're doing. You're going to the polls and you're voting the opposite of what you're saying in my comment section. So why the fuck are you here? All they do is spy on us. And y'all, I think the reason for that is because they know that we are the prophet. They have no sense of power internally. That's why they create systems of oppression that gives them power. They create systems of marginalization to disenfranchise other people, specifically us, because that's their way of keeping us in our place. Remember, they've always felt as if they were gatekeepers of us. And that's what this election was about. They didn't vote in favor of policy. They voted in favor of color. They voted to keep the privileges that are associated with their skin color. They'll never say this, but that's exactly what it is. Because he wasn't more qualified than Kamala. He wasn't the better candidate by any stretch of the imagination. He doesn't have the most experience by any stretch of the imagination. Her qualifications, her educational background, her resume speaks for itself. She has the qualifications for that position. But how much fucking work does a black woman have to put in to be seen as qualified? Like, the fact that people were still willing to tokenize this lady. A token is somebody who's arbitrarily thrown into a role. You put them in a role to check a box. She checks all the boxes on merit just because she has the credentials for it, but we still overlook that and accuse that woman of sleeping her way to the top. This is just blatant racism. It's blatant racism. But the thing is, y'all are not going to fearmonger me in this country. I'm not going to be afraid. Not in this country where I pay California taxes and rent. Absolutely the fuck not. If I got to buy up every you know what on the shelf, I will do that. But you're not going to have me walking around in fear. And I suggest you guys take on that same spirit. And the thing is, y'all, on a spiritual level, I don't feel how I felt in 2016. I felt the doom and gloom then. Right now, I just feel ready. I feel strong. I feel like there's something to wait on too. I don't know what's going on spiritually. I can't speak to that part. But I just feel like there's something else that's coming. But I want to have this conversation because I want you guys to understand why we keep doing this. Now, some of these people, yes, they've managed to work past their own conditioning. They managed to override what they naturally are inclined to do. But at their core, they're always going to revert back. As soon as they get a little bit afraid or they feel like their privilege is not going to only be dismantled, but even affected in the slightest, they're willing to vote away everybody's fucking rights. Which is why I'm saying black women in particular, be selfish. Latinos, shame on y'all. 60% of y'all, any black person, any gay person, any fucking minority who voted against their best interest and against all of us. Fuck all of y'all on some real shit. Now, like I said, I'm not going to walk around in fear. I'm not going to sit up here and give this all of my feelings and my emotions because I'm just not going to invest in that way. But I'm here for y'all. If you guys want to reach out, if you want to talk, if you want me to go live so you can have a safe space, I'm happy to do any of that for you. But y'all, don't let this shit take your peace and your joy. Do what you need to do for yourself. If this doesn't show you how to put yourself first, then nothing will. Black women, I'm talking to y'all because it's hard for us to turn off that way. Turn that shit the fuck off. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't have to stand in the gap for anybody. And to be the demographic that's so heavily obsessed, everybody's so obsessive over, always watching us, always trying to do what we're doing, always trying to police us and correct us and tone police us. How the fuck do y'all want to beat us so badly but then hate us so much? Like, you hate black people and black women in particular this much that you would vote this man back into office to continue to dismantle everything that our ancestors fought for. It's shame on all of y'all on some real shit. But everybody else, all the normal people, I love y'all. I'm sorry that this is what we all woke up to. Don't give up just yet, though. Keep your faith, keep your peace. Don't let anybody take that from you. I love y'all and I'm here for you.